Well, the Edo State governor made a shocking revelation that will be so hurting to a lot of Edolites. But of course, there's time for everything, and the situation on ground does not even warrant a lot of so much social activities to take place in most part of the country. Not just most part of the country, even in most countries or in most nations because of the corona pandemic and all of that. But of course, this Edo State governor has made some very open revelations that some people would really not find interesting. But of course, it is also welcomed because of the way things are at this time. Anyway, more of these details I'll bring to you, but please, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please ensure you hit the subscribe button and also give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get updated anytime we drop a new video. Okay, guys, without wasting much of your time, let us get right into the details of this report and hear what the governor has to say, because some people do not really find this very interesting, but of course it is very important. Yes, the Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki says the state is ready to host the National Sport Festival, but expressed fears over lack of funds to host 11,500 athletes and officials at the 20th edition of the sports meet. Obaseki disclosed this when he received members of the main organizing committee from the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development and the local organizing committee, who paid him a courtesy visit in Benin City on Tuesday. The governor said COVID-19 had taken its toll on the finances of various states and countries across the globe, with Edo State not left out. He noted that the impact of the coronavirus might have a negative effect on hosting the games in the state. Obaseki said since March last year, the financial strength of most states, subnationals and countries. For us as a state, we are ready to host but don't have the funds at this point in time to host the games. This is the plain truth. If the federal government, however, in its wisdom, decides to bring the funding for the games, we will be too willing to host the country. We have to live with COVID-19 because it has come to stay. Even with the vaccination, the virus will still be around. Canceling the games is not the solution to this issue. We have to sit down and look at all these issues critically before reaching a final decision. Obaseki added, beyond the games itself, which is an instrument of unity and a way of engaging the youth, there is the Tokyo Olympics to prepare for. But how do we prepare for the Olympics without Edo 2020? Can we afford to expose our young people to the dangers of COVID-19, or will there be other Olympics in the future? We have to balance these things. We have to make a decision whether we want to go to Tokyo Games. If we want to, how do we prepare Nigerians contingent? Where are the trials? Earlier, the leader of delegation from the sports ministry, Nebeolisa Anako, expressed delight with the facilities inspected by the committee for the festival, scheduled to hold from February 14 to 28 of February 2021. Well, for everything that Godwin Obaseki has said, really, it is not a time to host festivals. Yes, and he has not said any lie in this, because definitely I know there are some people who will be ready to attack him to say, but yet Premier Leagues and the likes are still going on. Yes, that is in other exposed or developed countries. In Nigeria, most people would definitely want to force their way into the venue where the Olympics is being held. And of course, some people would not even want to follow the protocols related to the COVID-19. And it is really dangerous for you to gather people at this time, because it is a festival, it is Olympic, and you really need a lot of applauses. You need a lot of people to be right there to watch, because it's always very interesting. But the state governor of those state, that is the governor Godwin Obaseki, made it very clear that it is a very interesting thing to do, and it is also a pleasure for them to really host the games. But really, he said this is a good time, but he cannot guarantee the safety of people, which is the truth, because at this very point, he said this is the 20th edition of the sports meet, and he also disclosed to them saying that the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports and others organizing who paid him a courtesy visit, he made it very clear to them that the COVID-19 has taken its toll on the finances of various states, and of which his own state is not left out of such kind of shortages. And he noted that the impact of the virus might have a negative effect on hosting the game in the state. And he said since March last year, a lot of states have also gone through financial stress and the likes. He said, but if the federal government would, however, be able to help fund the games, that he will be willing to allow the game to go on, and because they can handle every other situation. But at this point in time, he said the state does not have such finances to host the game. But if federal government can help, they would not really mind, because he said even with the vaccination that people are being given and all of that, he said the virus is still very much at large, and he cannot keep spending on vaccination just because there is a game and all of that. So he said it is very interesting, but it is also not a good plan for such games to also be cancelled. He said that is not the way out of it. But better still, he said there's no such funds that they can use to make the games go ahead. But of course, the facilities and everything is ready for the game to go on. It's just a fund. So it is now left for the federal government and the state government to agree on something, if that game should go on or not. Because like what the governor said, he did not make it clear if that game will be held or not, because he just made it known that the facilities and others are very much available. But when you talk about the funds, he said they do not have the fund to make sure that this game is held. So what is he saying? He's saying that the federal government should help with funding this game, because it is one game that will bring the youth together, that will also bring people together. It is a game that brings unity to the people. So definitely it is something that is a positive to the state. So definitely you should work out something to ensure that there is also a unity and togetherness for everyone in Edo State. And such game, you know what it brings? It brings people together. It makes people, collaborate. It makes people have one mind. You can see enemies there supporting the same person and all of that. So, well, guys, that is it from here. What do you think? Do you think the decision of the state governor of Edo State do you think it's a good decision that he has made for not funding the game, or do you think it's a wrong decision? Drop it in the comment section, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Do have a pleasant time. Bye for now.